Oh, hello! Just going through my big binder. It's getting full now, isn't it, of Crash? On the Retro Robin Show, of course, today we'll feature Crash from October 1990, issue number 81. We've got some great games in there to have a look at, some really good ones as well. More Commodore versus Spectrum, and we'll of course have a look at some new games. I always like to see new software coming out. Yeah, it's good stuff. So if you love a bit of 8-bit and you want a bit of a blast from the past, join me now on the Retro Robin Show. It's good stuff, honest, you'll enjoy it. Welcome to the Retro Robin Show with me, Wayne, of course. So if you love a bit of 8-bit, well, guess what? We're going to be looking at loads of 8-bit games today, and we've got 3 new ones to have a look at, as well as we go back to 1990. That's right, October, when Crash was a mere £1.85, but it also had a cassette included on the front of it, of course, as we re-review some of the games from out of that particular magazine. As always, today's hardware is going to be the Spectrum Next. No, it's a clone of the Spectrum Next. It's the Engo, which we're using to review some of the games on, just because it's quite easy for me to do. And we're going to be also using the Harlequin 2D 128K clone for some AY tune, and we're also going to be using the Toast Rack for more AY tune, coupled with a newly fixed 128K plus 3 with the sound fix on it for some more extra AY sound. I've also got a fader, so I can fade down the music as I speak and leave you to enjoy some of this great music by Matthew, who's responsible for an awful lot of the music that he sent me, and I really do appreciate it. Matthew, you're a champion. Thank you for that, of course. What's been going on in the retro community? Well, we've been looking through to see what's going on with the Next. Obviously, we know we're not going to make August. Well, some of us might not make August with the Next. You never know. There could be a surprise up their sleeves. Or is that just wishful thinking? Probably, yes. As always, if you like my show, read the message on the screen, subscribe. The more subscribers I've got, the more content I can make for you. And of course, make it as fun and as wacky as possible, with me being absolutely dreadful at some of the games that I'm reviewing, of course. All today's show will be run on Commodore versus Spectrum. We'll be using a real Commodore C64C, as a matter of fact. Not that recreated Commodore that I've got in the background there that I've just bought for, I don't know why I bought it. It was just appealing to me and I thought, give it a home. Someone's got to, so I did. I don't know why. Okay, so we're going to go straight into it and have a look at the first newish game that I've seen this week. So the first game we'll have a look at, it's called Paintball. You've got a 1 or 2 player game option. We're going to try the 1 player because there's only me here, so I might as well. I can't play both of them. Might even use the joystick. I don't know if you can use the joystick. I haven't even checked this game out yet. Funny story about paintballing is I went paintballing for the first time many years ago, and I'm talking, well, probably 30 years ago. I was about 18 at the time, and it was over Wolverhampton, and there were certain rules. What you had to do is you had to chase the flag bearer up to a certain point, and it was set in fields, quite congested with trees, of course. There were safe zones that you could go behind, and of course what you also would have to do is buy magazines which would go into your air-powered pump action paint thing. You could also buy grenades which would splatter everywhere once you throw them, and the more money you had, the more ammunition you could afford, or the more grenades you could afford. And yeah, I thought it would have been good fun, but I went with the YTS guys from White Youth Training Scheme back in the day, so it was unusual, because I remember a couple of them were like really, there was a guy called Tonkatich, and he was a fairly stocky lad, and he thought he was a real marine. I mean, he literally went full force, face paint and everything, and he followed me along the fields. And you know, when you've been hit, you put your hand up and you go to the safe zone. So I put my hand up, and he just instantly shot my hand, leaving with a big bruise. And he was the sort of guy who would trip you or get you down, put your knee on your chest and put a blooming paintball on your visor, shoot you in your visor. Bang! He was that intense, like it was a real war. And these paintballs, they sting, you know. I'm telling you, they hit you in the right place, they really sting like a... Ooh, ow, sorry microphone. That's felt that again. Oh, the memories. Anyway, let's have a look at the actual game that's called Paintball. We're going to go for the 1 to 8K version. There's the loading screen, and of course this has got some good music, A1 music at the start. And you've got credited to all the different coders there. A bit of a slow start. Paintball 2048. And that's not too far down the line, is it, to be quite honest? Just having a little listen to the AY tune. Which I can. Yes, pretty good, isn't it? I like it. Right, so yes, pretty good. We'll turn it down while we're playing, of course, so as we can have a look at the game itself. Okay, you've got the choice of Kempston, Sinclair or keyboard. Not too sure what the keyboards are, so I'm going to use the Kempston anyways. And then, of course, you have to select, well, what your weapons are. Make sure I've got my controller plugged in. So even though I've pressed Kempston, I've got to select your magazines, have you? Just trying to figure out what the keys are, because even though I've pressed Kempston, I might have pressed keys. Yeah, okay, I've got you. So you spend your money on the... I've just bought 3 magazines. You can buy some mines. Not going to spend too much. You can have a missile, but as you can see, you've only got a limited amount of funds. We'll have 2 mines. See if that's any good. We'll stock up on that, and then let's go into the game. And the idea is you're actually going to be paintballing. You've got to stop them from getting to your side of the screen. I got one of them. Oh, and I got to add myself straight away. So that was the quickest go ever. Right, how many magazines have I got? Oh, I've got another life, so we can keep going. Try again. Notice their bullets can travel totally across the screen, but yours can't, which is slightly unfair. And 2 of them are hiding for some unknown reason. That's a mine, isn't it? So you want to avoid that. We're down to the guy. Come on. That's it. We got through the first round. Okay, so now we've got a bit of money there. We're still okay for magazines, so let's get on to the next game. I like the way the AY music does continue into the game. Now the sprites are, you know, 1 character square, and they're very small, but in order for this game to work well, you need the maximum amount of room on the screen to do that. So he's got a rocket, hasn't he? It's a heat-seeking rocket by the looks of it, so you've got to be careful with them things. Right, so there's 1 more to get, is that? Well done. We get a bonus and get a bit of extra cash. Let's go again. How many magazines we've got? Still got plenty of ammunition. Screen changes slightly. Whoops, avoid that bullet. Whoa. Okay, he's going to make it to the exit, so we need to get rid of him. 2 in 1 go. He's left a mine there, which I could do, but if you get anywhere near that mine, you're dead. Brilliant. Right, let's have another go. Should we try putting a mine down? Right, so to put a mine down, you're gonna go, you have to select across the bottom. So there's your mine. Okay, so we can put a mine down here. One of them. One there. That's it. Okay, so now what we got to do is change back to my magazines and start blasting them. And be careful not to get hit by them. And there's a lot of campers here, isn't there? Okay, we've run out of magazines. I'm in trouble here. Should we have a look what actually happens when I run over one of their mines? I'm going to be honest, I quite enjoyed that for a newish game, and what an excellent concept. So it sort of does feel a little bit like Paintball. The strategy game would be helpful if you know where to put the mines as well. Very fun to play. Yes, I know they're small, but as I said, it needs to be small in order for you to enjoy that type of game, because you need them to make it feel like it's a big map. Obviously, I suppose you could do a huge one where it scrolls across an entire map and the paintball. That would use an awful lot of code, whether there'd be enough code for the 120k or 48k, who knows. Good AY sound, good use of graphics, good use of colours, sprites are understandable. I like the fact that you've got a shield, mines, missiles and magazines, which I ended up running out of. So perhaps I should have bought a bit more ammo. Marks out of 10 from Retro Robbins. That's going to be a high rating. Even though it looks fairly basic, it was really fun to enjoy, and I bet it's really good as a two-player game as well. One for you to try. Also available free on download, but please feel free to tip the coders. Give them a couple of pounds. After all, there's a lot of hard work goes into making these games, and it'll be much appreciated. We'll also encourage them to make their games as well. So, 9.5 out of 10 from Retro Robbins. Not bad, enjoyed it. Moving flowers to the past. No loading screen. You can define your keys, which I think we'll do on this occasion. I love it when you get the fact you can redefine your keys. As long as I don't press left and right. So it's just 4 directions. To start the game you just press 1. Good luck, press any key. First thing you've got to do is destroy all of those. Right, I find it a little bit tricky. Ah, right, so it's a frush system, is it? It's an avoidance game, is it? Oh. So you have to thrust. You have to hold your finger on thrust in order for it to go up. If you let go, you fall down. That reminds me a little bit of the icon out of Strange Loop. Oh no. Oh, I see. So down is fire. Gotcha. I presume I'm going to click that. And they actually follow you, don't they? Oh, that was super easy, fairly inconvenient. Right then, oh, you can destroy them. Can you destroy all of them? No, okay. Well, you just got to work your way around it, haven't you, collecting all of these heart things, and interesting looking game, isn't it? Looks more complicated than it is. Oh, you get an energy bar that goes down. Okay, that's fair enough. The first time I played it, by the way, but I can tell straight away from knowing from years of game playing that because he's flashing multiple colours, he's probably going to be impossible to destroy. So, right. So I can see it's like a little heart shape. Those yellow heart shapes you've got to collect. Oh, there's something that's going across the top. That must be taking the energy as well. Now I've got. Oh. Ah, that's an added bonus. Those red things you cannot touch. Well, I say added bonus. Added inconvenience. Yeah, because your shield goes down, doesn't it? So right then. Ooh. That's it, I can get that there. So to get around there, I've got to shoot my way through it, have I? Oh, there's a passageway down there as well, so... Don't worry, pal, I'm not going to go your way. It's quite a sizable map, isn't it? So that's got to be timing. And now we've got to get back. Oh, I can go through there, can I? Time flies! I like the name of the room. Little explosions are fairly basic. Now I know that red thing you can't touch, so it's a case of run for it and get to the top of the screen. And we know you can't. Ah, he's going to be a bugger, isn't he, down there? Excuse me. How on earth am I going to get past him? Right then. I just collided directly into him. As you can see, I'm running out of energy rapidly, so I'm not going to last too much longer. So it's a case of timing, isn't it, to get through him? Oh! Ah, that red stuff at the top caught me out. Oh, I don't like that. That Mr. Death must follow you. Oh dear. Oh, I had that feeling that was going to happen. Oh, if you don't hold thrust, you keep... I've got to blast that gate again, okay. Oh no, get out of the way. So do not free him. There's the key to that one. Do not free the skeleton. If you do, you will be pretty much toast in no time. Aye, that's cool. Oh dear. How many lives have I got left? Lot one? Okay, I think we've seen enough of this game. I'm not liking the look of it, to be honest. It's not too bad a game, but... Ooh. Do you get extra... Your shields don't go up when you take the heart, do they? Let's see what happens on the death sequences. Okay, well, giving it a good review and giving it a good play. No! Don't worry, it's not that bad. Interesting sprites. Some of them look like I've seen them in many games before, especially the controlling of that little pod. Does remind me of the pod in Strange Loop somewhat. There is a slight difference, I know. No music, AY sound in the game, just sound effects. The AY sound, of course, is provided here in the background by the Harlequin 128, which I'm going to change over to the Toast Track in a moment. You can tell the difference. The one's a simulated AY chip and the other one's a proper AY chip, but all good sounds are coming from the AY. I'm going to give that... It's hard to give it a proper rating not knowing how big this map is. If it's quite a sizable map, because it's bare basic, it's not too bad. I'll give it a respectable 7 out of 10. Do you feel the same? Give it a go. Free for download, but also if you want, as always, please tick the coders. Let's have a look at today's last new game. The adventure continues, and not the adventures of Dizzy we're talking with the Oliver twins, which we've moved on to the Toast Rack to provide the AY sound now. You can tell the difference, can't you? One just says old. The adventure continues. Is this game coming up here? Loading screen brief look, of course. interesting, nice, colourful and bubbly. And because we got sound in the game, and we can have a look at first impressions. Nice big adventure continues side A, so there's an A and B side to this game, of course. PC No Games and all the AGD, the latest developers there at the bottom, which is great. Code and music by no. Oh no. Ho no, actually it's Ho no. Is it Ho no or no? I don't know, because that looks like a H to me. Right then, let's have a look at the game. We can press for Kempston. Yeah, okay. Gives you a little bit of a story. Unusual type of bleep, 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 bleep. Bleeping sound, isn't it? Yeah, you can select to continue from an old game. Oh, look at him. How cute is he? Oh, that is a cute looking sprite in it. Anything with big eyes. Okay, level 1, here we go. Oh, so what you're going to do is collect these hearts. You push these out of the way in order to collect those hearts. However, you need to be careful where you push them, because if you push them wrong, they can block your way, which means you have to start again. Trying to think where that music's from. It sounds like a Daft Punk tune to me. Very similar to a Daft Punk tune. I like it though. Right, once you got the key, you can go through that yellow gate, which is provided in the chest. It doesn't start straight away. You have to press a button, so it gives you time to reset. Right, you can't push them out of the way, but you can fire at them. But to fire at them, you need to click one of those hearts first of all, don't you? So that means you've got something you can follow. They'll turn into a bubble. Be mindful not to push them too far, because as I say, if you push them too far, it's like now, I might be in trouble here because he's gone a little bit too far for me. And of course, when that happens, the only thing you can do is restart the game. So now, because I pushed him too far, I cannot get down there. So even if I blasted him again, it wouldn't help me any. Because you can't push him to the end, can I? Yeah, no. See, so that's it. That's game. So you have to press restart. Bless him. Yeah, see the way he died. Sticks his tongue out. I hope I don't do that when I snuff it. Try again then. I like the music, I must admit, but it does remind me a little bit of a Daft Punk tune. Whether that's what it is, I don't know. I'll wait for him to change, because that'll... Aha, did it this time round. So I didn't push him too far, so you've got to be really careful on where you push. Oh. Now you click the heart, that'll change, open the case, plug the key, go through the gate to the next screen. And let's move on to the next screen. Gives you a code as well, which you can put in, so... Oh dear, oh no, okay, I'm okay folks, I've done it. Ah, that's not good. That's not good. I wonder if I can push it out of the way enough to... I seem to be alright. Right, they've suddenly turned directions for some reason. Oh, I didn't know they could fire at you. That's interesting. And the best of it is I got away with that and I walked back into his firing range. Pash 104. So let's give it another go. So it's kind of like a puzzle game. And I know what I'll do. Let's see if this stops there firing. Have that. Reminds me of a game, and the map sort of looks like, see, it did work, it stopped, it blocked their firing. Reminds me of the early days of Coding Along with Badleys, where he was designing that maze game. Those sort of are the size of the blocks of the tiles that he's created there, so yeah, it's a bit similar to that. I'm miles behind on Coding Along with Badleys, but I'll catch up. I've got all the time in the world, but at least I've got another 50 years, I should think. Anyways, let's get on. Right, let's now he could pose a problem, couldn't he, when I click the last one? I've got a funny feeling that that could be the issue. So what we'll do is we'll take him out of the equation by pushing this there. And before I click that one, okay, so you can see what I've done there. Stop them firing at me. I'm smarter than the average bear. We're moving on. Right. This looks complicated. That's him sorted. There's one at the top there. Now, interestingly enough, can you push that up the ladder? Looks like a ladder. That's him out of the equation. We'll click those up here while we can. We'll take him out of the equation by blocking that one. Ah, right. The gate's up there, so we've got to go up there anyways, but while we're at it, let's go and click this. Now, I noticed it's the same tune every time, so I wonder if you've only got to when the tune ends to get the screen complete. Block that one. Now all I have to do is click the heart, open the chest, get the key, out of here. Excuse me. Enough there, we've seen enough of the game. What do I think about it? Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. The sprites don't change that much, and yeah, it's a little puzzle type maze game, and available as well on download. Please go and grab that yourself a copy. Give it a game. Maybe you'll enjoy it as much as I have. Yeah, I'm going to have fun with that. So it's a well done game. I like the AY tune. I wonder if it actually changes further on in the game. Who knows? Before we move on to Crash, let's give this some marks out of 10. I'm going to give that one a respectable 8.5 out of 10. Great effort, great game, well done. I like it. We go back to 1990, issue number 81 of Crash, where it was £1.85. And the first game we're going to look at is a bit of a puzzle game. And I'll tell you, spoiler alert, it's got cracking AY sound as well, which is what I like in these later games. Making use of the AY chip, which was in your 128K, your +2, +2A, +3 of course. And we're going to have a look at the game in a moment. Right, the game's called Plotting. It's by Ocean. It would have cost you £9.99. Presentation was given 84%. Graphics was given 86%. Sound was given 80%. So it's got a good sound rating. Sorry, playability was given 88%, presentation 84%, addictive quality is 81%, overall at 86% rating, so it was only 4% of that glorious Crash Smash rating. So with high expectations, let's have a look at this game. If we've got a loading screen, we'll have a brief look at it. And there's your loading screen, not bad. It's got to be a blockish game, so that's what you get when it's loaded. We'll turn the sound down in a moment now because you're about to... Nice opening presentation. Plotting comes across the screen. Your high scores, 3 letters long, remember that because it looks like you can put more letters in there. So the bottom score is an easy one for you to beat. Should we get into the game? Indeed we will. Right, goes quiet. Before you start the game, stage 1, you need to clear as many blocks as you can. The first one is just a... yeah. If you notice, if you aim on that where there's a slant, it'll hit the block and then go down, and that's the way you get the blocks at the back. And you basically need to get as many of these as you can in as little time as you can, really, before you can clear this first stage. And you can fire directly as well. And that was a big 400 because I got a few in a row. Oh, I need to get the green, that's the green, yeah. It's quite a quick moving game, really. And there we go, we got the first level complete within the time scale that was required. Let's move on to the next level. So the game mechanic itself is not going to change, it's going to be roughly the same all the way through. But it will get harder because if you notice the top will not have, at the moment it hasn't, but further on the line where you can deflect the blocks from will change, making it hard to get to certain ones in certain areas. That will cause blocks to build up and then you not to complete the game in the time required. As you can see, the time is running down fast, so we need to get a whittle on. If we can get that red one there, that should do it. And I missed. Ah, I didn't know I did that. Okay. And how many more have we got to get? 9 to get. We've done it. Okay. Not bad, is it? Not bad at all. Right then, let's have a look at this stage 2. Hey. Gonna get a good high score here. Yes. No, I misfired. You can't see. I wanted to get the X, but you can't get the X because the top has changed slightly. You can do this, I suppose. Just stay here and whoops, not misfire. I'm too quick with my own button. So no, I went one too many. That's it. We're running out of time. Can I get that one? Yes. Concentration here. I've gone quiet. Yes, done it. Stage 3. Here we go then. Oh, I can't get that one, so I've got to go at the front here. Right. Okay. I've got a 2 out of the way there. We'll bring that red out of the way in case we need to get a green. That's it. Got another red one. Another X. 3 in a row red. Ah, so you get a 400 bonus there. 3 in a row on the blue like mountain type shapes. There we go. It's getting quite good at this, aren't I? I'm enjoying it actually. So now that's interesting the way it's all changed at the top, but we've got a 3 in a row out of the way. Can't get the green. Oh, there's a green here I can get, yeah. I can see how I can run into trouble if I'm not careful with that. Perhaps the idea is to not use up all the green. 3 in a row, that'll do me nicely, thank you very much. Ah, we got a big bonus one. We'll put that there because we got a red. Oh no. Thought we had a red. Sorry. Oh, I like the way it fires your name as well. Remember, you can only have 3 letters. It doesn't tell you that though. Well, yeah, 86% it got overall. Didn't get a crash rating. Don't understand why, to be honest, because I would have given it that extra 4%. It wasn't a bad game. Maybe, where did I come? Oh, I got 2nd place. Excellent. Yeah, you've time game and a certain amount of moves. Good sprite. Lovely graphics. Don't know what that jelly thing is, but on this occasion I think I'll agree with Crash. Why not? Give it a 8.5 out of 10. One for you to try. Not bad at all. Let's have a look at the next game I've got down on the list. This game is called Saturn. It would have cost you £9.99, $14.99 if you was to get the disc version on Dynamic Software. You're about to see the unusual loadings. I'm loading it via tape, so Crash is getting in the way of my head. Loading it via tape, so that's why you're seeing the loading sequence taking place. Presentation given 67%, graphics given 75%. Graphics must be good. Sound 65%, playability 81%, addictive quality 71%. Nice loading screen. Very nice loading screen. Overall rating was given 80%. I have got this game on original somewhere. I did want to load the original copy from the original tape for you, but unfortunately, when you've got a collection as vast as mine, it's pretty hard to come across games when you need them, because I have no filing system at all. They're just in boxes and boxes and boxes of games. I mean, last count I must have had 4,500 games, most of them all original format, and there was a golden era, and this is what people don't understand. During the 90s, where people wasn't asking ridiculous money, between 97 to 2000, 2003, maybe 2004, where car boot sales that have all of these old Spectrums and old Commodores and that, and they were selling them off at £5–10, because there was no real major, oh, let's sell it on eBay back then, and people wasn't checking for prices to see what they could actually get for it. Where you used to go to car boot sales, and I used to buy box and box and box loads of games and that from there for about £5 or £10, and of course they just wanted to get rid of them, because to them it was bric-a-brac, it was junk, it was rubbish, it was from yesteryear, it was an old concept. You know, they'd moved on to the PlayStation by then, or the Mega Drive, or whatever. You know, the Spectrums were seen as old hack, so you could get the, well, that's where I picked my first toast rack up, because I never actually had a toast rack. From was a car boot sale for around about £10, which was a lot of money back then, I suppose. I also got a +3, and I got loads of computers from car boot sales. People were clearing them out. Now, if you go to a car boot sale, somebody will see something on a store, they'll go on the phone, see what it's worth on eBay, and then offer half the price, and then go and sell it on eBay the next week. So car boot sales are just literally a dead format. You go on to people asking ridiculous amounts of money for old software because they think, oh, it's old, it's got to be valuable. Well, no, it's not the case. A lot of places, you know, you're best to buy, if you're going to buy off the internet any retro computers, to buy the words where it states untested, because usually they haven't got the facility to test them, and a lot of times you get them through their work anyways. I recently did one on a Spectrum Plus 2 that I bought, the grey case one. He put untested, he sold it at around about £35. Came with games and a joystick and all the original packaging. Plugged it in thinking it wasn't going to work, and it was perfect. In fact, when I got it out of the packaging, it was one of the most mint condition ones I'd ever seen in my life. That one is never to be used, of course. I'm going to keep that because I want to keep it in mint condition. Anyway, with that long conversation over, let's move on to the game. I'm going to load the British version of the game, of course. And just like that, I've changed the language. Right, you've got the option of Kempston, Keys, or Sinclair. We're going to go for Kempston. Bring up the music a little bit. So we want to press 3, don't we? Yeah, okay. Then you have to select what you're going to use for a pause. In this case, we'll use the P. And abort A. Simple to remember that way. And we start game. The story of the game is you've got to collect 3 different scrolls from a race that has invaded your planet in order to destroy them. And of course this may cause a few autofocus problems. You work your way through a fairly monocoloured maze. As you can see, it's completely black and white. It's not too difficult to control. You can jump from left to right quite comfortably. However, you need to be careful with your timing. You get all sorts of flying dragons as well. So, and there's a warlock or a dragon. I don't know whether it is. You can make it through here. You get different types of caverns to get through. Got to work your way to the top really, and you consider various things to collect. If you do miss a jump, you don't fall all that far. It's not implayable. It instantly knows which way you want to fire if there's any baddies. So for instance, you go up here and you press fire. Oh, in that case perhaps it doesn't. So I'm going to collect that, and of course you've got a certain amount of time in order to collect it. And I've just lost a life, but then this game's quite tricky in patches. What do I think of the game? We'll click the shield. They home in on you, by the way. They're sort of like flying dragons. They look more like flying bats, but you know. Up and left to jump. It can be a bit tricky using joystick, of course, because I'm trying to jump up and left. Right, so I just took a number of blows. I collected that though, that's good. You get the hang of it eventually. I've just lost another life. You don't start from where you die, you start off a little bit higher up. We'll make it to our next cavern, which will change colour back to here. And we're back out, of course, to where we started earlier. So you have to hunt the place, look for scrolls before you can destroy the evil enemy that's invaded your planet. Presentation 67, graphics 75, sound 65, playability 81, addictive 71, overall 80. What am I going to give it? Well, I would have given it a little bit less than that, because I think there are certain sections of the game they could have used a little bit more colouring. You know, it's too black and white. If you understand me, I'd like to see a little bit more colour. They could have pulled that off without colour clash, rather than a complete one-tone. However, it does play quite well, and the graphics ain't too bad. The display at the bottom is nicely done, so for that reason I'm going to give that a... I'm not going to agree with Crash, I'm only going to give it a 7 out of 10. Perhaps that's one that you've seen back in the day, you've never played, or you have played and you'd like to play again. Hopefully I've reminded you of something that was a hidden or forgotten gem. Let's have a look at another one before we move on to Commodore vs Spectrum, so as we can keep this video down to a reasonable length this week instead of going over the hour long. Oh, that's slow, isn't it? Right, turn it down a second. Next game, Nightbreed. Ocean game, of course, $9.99 or $14.99. The presentation was given 78%, the graphics was given 77%, sound 68%. Although I've played this game, I didn't find much sound in it, to be honest. So, yeah, there was an AY tune at the start, but we'll get into that in a moment. Playability 77%, addictive quality 78%, overall rating was given 78%. So you've got a lot of nasty mutants and killers to avoid while trying to, shall we say, get a mask in this game. We'll have a brief look at the loading screen as we load along, and remember to turn the AY sound down. There's the loading screen. It's comes up with an opening history. And a nice start, to be quite honest. Just giving you a chance to read through it. We can zoom in slightly, I think, yeah. Because when you zoom in too much, you get that on the screen, don't you? So, well then, I think we've seen enough of this game. Let's actually have a look at it. We can choose between keys or joystick. I'm going to go joystick, so we need to go for number 2, Kempston. And it's 5 to start the game. I like the way we've got fires on the floor. Oh, there's a nasty man trap. Oh, goodness me, I'm dead before I even started. Let's move my joystick out of the way. I can punch him, that's a start, okay. Can we get on here? Right, okay, cool. Very colourful, I admit. Don't want to look at that. That's a bomb, so we've got to click that. Wow. We need something we can fire, don't we? Oh, quickly. Oh, there's a... something that grabs you from out the ground. Oh, dead already there. So if you hang around too long, things appear, do they, or? I can see that as part of your life, your little face is slowly turning into what seems to be a skeleton. Oh, you didn't see him hiding behind the post, did you? That could be quite an interesting game. There's something on the floor. I wonder if I can collect that. Oh my life. So it blew a hole in the ground and now I fell all the way down. Oh, there's a big rock that falls. I like the tile background. Very colourful. Colour clash minor. And it doesn't matter because I think the game is... When you get into it, you can see there's a ladder I've got to climb down. If I can get past this guy, that's it. Yeah. Oh. There's all sorts of nasties on this that kill you, isn't there? You can't move before you run into something. Oh, look at the size of that sprite. I'm getting mowed down left, right and centre. Go and have a look at that again. Look at it. I'm already there. Oh, he drops. Get out of the way. I'm dead. I can't move. Well, let me move. Ah, didn't think I was ever going to make that right. Kind of enjoying it, but I'm still trying to work out what to do. Oh, goodness me. Oh, look at the size of that beast. And I can't go any further, so I'm stuck. I'm doomed. I'm doomed, I tell you. Can I jump past him? I'm trying to punch, but it won't let me punch. And now I've got fire on the floor. That's it. You're done for. You're stuck. I've seen enough. As you can see, I'm slowly getting wiped out here, and I can't move now. I'm trapped. Oh, is there somewhere I can go? Oh, I can go down. So that sort of blocks it. Yeah, I can go down. I didn't realise I could go down. Don't think I'm going to last too much longer, do you? Oh, what was that? Quick. And we got falling rocks. It's just infuriating. Before I moved, I'm dead again. Yes, I understand. I have fallen. Well, graphically, it's done excellent. Excellent graphically. Lots of colours on the screen. No problems really with the colour clash. You guys going to be constant in black pixels, which will blend into whatever colours in the background as part of the tile map. And the gameplay itself is a very tricky game. Might be one you can overcome with plenty of practice. That was really my first go. So overall, it was presentation 77, graphics 7. Sorry, presentation 78, graphics 77, sound 68, playability 77, addictive quality 78%, overall 78%. Effectively 8 out of 10. I'm not going to give it that much. I'm going to give that. I'm going to go low because it was so hard. I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10. Only because there could have been some AY music in the game itself. The AY you heard, of course, was from the toast rack in the background there, which I've got on a bit of a fader. To play over it. Right then, last previous few weeks, Spectrum have been coming up trumps with some great victories and well-deserved victories. Commodore had a good long run before that. Calculating everything up, Commodore are still a couple ahead. And if you watch OJ Duffy's channel, he does virtually every system under the sun. He does everything. I think he's only a couple of systems short of the full set. He does the versus video as well, and it's good fun to watch them. Make sure you give his channel a shout out, especially if you want to see a Spectrum hater in action. Only joking. He does put Spectrum in third place an awful lot. Probably deservedly so sometimes, not other times maybe not. I couldn't believe he gave Robocop third place on the Spectrum. That's like a flagship game for the system. Bless him. That's only one beer I'm buying him when I see him, not two. Yeah, but it's good fun. It doesn't matter if you disagree, that's fine, that's what we want. If you disagree or you don't agree with any of today's opinions, please leave a comment. If there's anything you'd like to see on the show, please leave a comment. And when you do, obviously, I'll try and get back to you with a reply every time. In the meantime, not doing the OJ Duffy version today, we're going to have a look at my Commodore versus Spectrum and see which one of the two games comes out best as a conversion on that particular console. Here we go then, what have we got installed today? The game I've chosen today for the Commodore and the Spectrum is the same game, but it has two different names. On the Commodore, it's called Paranoid, and on the Spectrum, it's called Quasitron. Neither really have a loading sequence, but they do go through like text running down the screen as they load. Game I've played on the Spectrum lots back in the day. And I have played this before recording, of course, so I could have a good feel of both games. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you briefly what the two games look like in their current form. Starting with the Spectrum this time round, which we'll move on to in a moment. We're going to go for Kenton, of course. Press enter to start game. No AY sound in the game. Today's AY sound, of course, is from Matthew, who's done me Van der Volk in the background. This time being played off the Spectrum Plus 3. Well, I mix it up a bit this week. I'm using all the computers I've got. Right. What you have to do in this game, press fire to start, is get rid of all of those droids. It's a bit of a 3D platformer, if you like, which I like, to be fair. R8s are quite powerful. You can grapple or you can shoot, but if you hold foot, I'm going to grapple with this one. Then you've got this sort of, you can choose which side you want to be. In that case, I think you've only got a certain amount of time to choose, so I'll choose that one. You've got to try and get as many of these as you can to your colour, which is easier said than done. I've only got one more, so I'll wait to see where he places it. At the moment I'm winning, and I think I've won with one to spare. You can then upgrade your robot by nicking some of his equipment if it's better than yours, and then you can exit if you don't want it. So now, by pressing fire on this as well, or is it fire or caps? Enter. You can go up, that's your charge, isn't it? Sorry, that's your charge. There's a map here. By pressing there, you can look at the map. Oh, if you fall too far, you get damaged, don't you? Just go to that's it, that's the map. You can see where you are on the map on the different platform levels, and I can tell you what else you've got. So you've got all those game mechanics, of course. The idea is you've got to wipe out all these robots, and dreadful scrolling on the Spectrum. Unfortunately, it's not very smooth. It's a bit jerky, but the game itself is pretty good once you can destroy one. I'm trying to destroy one. Not easy to hit. Not easy to hit. I might grapple with R7 and see if I can get him to. I've missed him every time. Oh, I got one last, right. So now if we go up here, I think we have to press enter, don't we, to go for levels 2. Switch to grapple. That means when I next hit the robot, I don't want him, he's no good. I want that here, U7. R7 actually, got ya. Right, we want to be the blue side, yeah. That's it, that's virtually victory assured, isn't it? So and we should have we've walked it actually. Minimal damage there. Dual laser, all of that, thank you very much. Just interface everything I do usually. It's probably not a good idea. Oh, you've got a nice big wide laser now. When you've got dual laser, it's twice the size of the screen, and it's easy to destroy the robots that way. No problem. And this is where we can move up to up and down levels here with this dreadful scrolling system, of course. And we just go down to the next level. Great. Okay, that's the Spectrum version. So let's have a look at the Commodore version. So to start the game, we've just got to press fire. Minimal sound effects in it. Bit faster moving. This time it's not an isometrical game. It's a top-down game. Robot is just a number rather than. But obviously, what the Commodore does really well is the smooth scrolling. I think we'll grapple with one in a moment. We're going to destroy all those in a minute. Getting you to grapple though is quite hard. Oh yes, that's your Yeah, same as before, but just slightly options. You can see which deck you're on. You can see where you are. And then we just return back to the game. So you have to be quick on the grappling in order to grapple, else you destroy them. Let's see if I can get a grapple together before we move on. There are charging points in this as well. And somehow we've managed to go from... How did we manage that? Oh, might be something to do with the power. You can recharge here, I think. No, that's your level select, so we can move down to another level. Let's see. Grapple. Gotcha. Right, we're going to grapple now, so we'll choose this side. I always like to let them make their first move before I attack on the circuit board there. Looks like we're a winner. Chicken dinner. Indeed we are. So now we've got dual cannon. Well, it's different game. Same game, but different, if you know what I mean. And the Commodore one's really nice. Now, it's just not looks like it doesn't look like a droid. You know, it's just a number. Do I prefer the Spectrum version, or do I? This is like, it is a different name of a game, but it's the same game. A bit like Amorosi was, but the Amorosi was the same name. But if they'd have done that as an isometric game on the Commodore, which I don't know whether they have difficulties doing isometric games on Commodore. They didn't do too many, did they? Oh, looks like I'm going to pick a fight here. I think that's the side to be, because I can get 3 in one go here, look. However, ooh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I had one more and I'm running out of time. Could be a draw. No, I lost. Right then, I think it's time for my verdict. Which one do I prefer? Do I prefer the Spectrum or do I prefer the Commodore one? Alert. Let's have a look at what I think. Yeah, I kind of prefer the Spectrum version, and the isometrical game itself was pretty good, really, even though it was a bit blocky with the movement. Top down, which has happened twice with Commodore, hasn't it? Because we had Amorosi, which was a isometrical game for the Spectrum, which was absolutely brilliant, including the 128k AY sound that was creepy and spooky. A brilliant game, but when you came to the Commodore version of that game, it was the same game with the same name, but different. It was a top-down bird's eye view, and it wasn't the same. This, on the other hand, is 2 different names but the same game, and it's been given Paranoid for the Commodore 64 and Quasitron for the Spectrum. Now, I don't know what it is with the Commodore, but they don't like doing isometric games, do they? Because by the looks of things, that's the second time I've seen this happen. I wonder if that's the thing. I've recently seen the Night Law of the Commodore versus Spectrum version, and the Commodore version of Night Law was pretty good, so it is capable of doing that sort of isometric game. What it does do well though with all Commodore is the scrolling is phenomenal because of the fact it's a bit more difficult to do on the Spectrum, where the Commodore can do that. So when you're actually playing that top-down game, Paranoid, it moves beautifully from screen to screen. But it is just literally numbers within numbers on the droid, so it doesn't look like a droid. It's not the same. Where on the Spectrum the droid does look like a droid, and it really feels like you're playing that as a robot sort of thing, trying to clear each screen as it comes. So yeah, there's pluses to the Commodore. It's an enjoyable game. If you was to take it as a separate game, it really is a good game. It definitely is one of the top games for the system. But that in mind, it's supposed to be the same game as Quasitron. It's got the same the grappling, where you're fighting by trying to win the circuit war between the two robots, and yeah, so that's why I gave it the Spectrum version. I played the Spectrum version a lot more, but I have given both versions a good run, of course. Do you agree? If so, please leave your comments and I'll get back to you with those. Hope you enjoyed today's show, which I'm going to wrap up now, of course. Remember, today's show is run on real hardware, so we're using Commodore, we're using a real Spectrum to review both the games. There's no emulation here, of course, apart from the fact we're using an Ngo, which is the clone of the Next, which I'll be getting the Next, of course, soon, hopefully. August it was advertised for, but we can't see that realistically happening. But we don't mind waiting for the top quality product, do we? Don't forget to check out OJ Duffy's channel. He does some great Commodore versus Spectrum and all systems, but he also goes one further than me. He has a look at the original arcade conversion of that. It's a good show, really. I don't always agree with what he's come to as his verdict, but you know, a difference of opinion, it makes us all different and makes us all enjoyable to talk to. In the meantime, from me, Wayne Roy, Retro Robbins, of course, that is my full name. Maybe not the retro bit, who knows, I might change it by default. Hope you enjoyed today's show. Depending on when you watch it, have a nice working week or weekend. Please remember to smash that like button, smash that bell, and smash that subscribe. And I'm using the word smash because somebody seems to be using it a lot lately on YouTube, so I thought I'd nick it and use it as well. I'm a little bit of a Mickey taker on the quiet, aren't I? Can't help it. You know, when you've got a face like mine, people have took the mick all their life, you've got to take it back a bit, haven't you? Once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please leave a comment. Bye from me, take care, and I'll see you again soon on the Retro Robin Show next week, hopefully, with a bit of luck.